Assalamu alaikum. I decided to make yet another video. I've told you that, I've been a professor of economics, and it was kind of my professional job to speak to students for at least 3 hours per lecture. The earlier video were about economics, but most importantly, I'm linking economics with cultural heritage, cultural practices, cultural understandings. And every culture is different. It depends. Asian culture is different than the European culture. European culture is different than African and Latin American culture. Of course, it requires quite a bit of understanding of human history. How human societies have been evolved. So, being a Muslim and practicing Ramadan, it is apt that I, speak few words about Islamic history, especially what I understand from Islam. It is, of course, Muslims believe it is kind of a code of life. It represents religious practices. Then it represents guide towards our social life, which needs to be humble, which needs to follow practices which can be explained as acts of kindness, acts of humbleness, acts of compassion, trust, and practice of ethics and rule of law. But most importantly, Islam also represents Sharia, which is kind of a technical understanding about not only Islamic practices, but how Islam needs to be represented as a comprehensive governance structure. And in every Muslim country, especially Pakistan, which is Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Islamic governance represents Sharia, and it represents a complex net of stakeholders, religious clergy, which are Maulvis, who manage mosques. They give azans and lead the prayers 5 times a day. And then there are Sharia experts, which are educated in religious madrasas. And they are the authority to understand, explain, and guide the government that how Islamic practices needs to be interpreted. For example, the modern world is kind of a liberal world. So it is important to always take guide from Islamic teachings. And it not only represents, this Sharia not only represents the advent of early Islam, but it represents